A launch deck gets polished. Ads get approved, but the market barely notices the announcement. Teams add more features, more claims, and more explanations. Yet attention slips away within seconds. Communication fails because channels are jammed, so most messages never reach the mind clearly. The mind filters hard, accepting only what matches prior experience and rejecting anything unfamiliar or wrong. When a mind is made up, persuasion attempts often waste resources, as reversal is rare and resistance is easy. Success comes from selecting one sharp idea, then repeating it until it becomes the default assumption. Imagine a buyer scanning crowded shelves, seeing hundreds of labels, and choosing the one that already feels familiar. In that moment, the job is not to teach everything, but to own one simple place in memory. This video delves into mind slots, first mover advantage, mental ladders, naming, and the risk of overextension. This video is inspired by Positioning by Ries and Trout. Subscribe for clearer marketing decisions. Positioning involves guiding what a prospect remembers, not altering the product or competing through volume. It functions by aligning with existing beliefs, then reinforcing that connection until it becomes solid. Minds absorb only compatible information, so additional facts may bounce back, leaving confusion in their wake. A straightforward message triumphs because clarity endures amidst noise, while lengthy explanations get filtered out. A brand team outlines numerous benefits, but customers later recall only one word they can anchor to. If that anchor is vague, the brand becomes forgettable, and competitors occupy the mind with simpler claims. This approach reverses the process, as the solution lies in perception, not internal pride. Instead of detailing features, ask what existing slot they fit into and how to claim it. Select one position that aligns with reality and can be defended, then eliminate everything that weakens it. Repeat that position across all aspects of the product, price, and messaging until the market can recall it instantly. Communication succeeds when timing creates an open window, as attention is available and categories are still forming. The easiest entry is being first, since the first label becomes the reference point for everything that follows. Once the first idea is stored, alternatives feel secondary, and the mind resists reorganizing the ladder. This is why second place is hard, as people struggle to recall the runner-up even with better quality. Ask about the first solo flight across the North Atlantic, and most will name Charles Lindbergh immediately. Ask for the second name, and silence often follows, showing how memory rewards first entry. If first place is taken, the goal is to find a smaller category where first place is still available. After securing that foothold, the category can expand, allowing the mind to keep the original brand as the category leader. Map where prospects already have a leader, then choose whether to be first in a new niche or against the leader. Then act early, as later spending cannot easily replace the advantage of a first impression. People manage information overload by ranking brands on mental ladders, with only a few rungs remembered clearly. Before crafting a message, identify the ladder and the current rung your brand occupies in the minds of consumers. Direct assaults often fail because the top rung has years of reinforcement and no room above it. A follower can win by taking the first clear alternative position, such as being the honest number 2. A rental company admitted it was number 2 behind Hertz, and the message gave people a simple reason. The lesson is that relating to the leader anchors, meaning quickly, while pretending to be number 1 feels fake. Another move is defining an alternative, like an uncola, by linking to what already dominates the ladder. Once a position works, keep it year after year, because abandoning it erases the only claim owned. Write one sentence that states the rung, the alternative, or the contrast, and strip away every extra claim. If you want more tools for finding a clear rung and holding it, subscribe for the next breakdown. A name serves as the hook that attaches a brand to the ladder of strategy, carrying its essence. Selecting a name is a significant decision, as the mind retains names more quickly than lengthy descriptions. A strong name initiates the positioning process by suggesting the primary benefit, rather than sounding merely decorative. A weak name conveys nothing, making it difficult to remember when shelves and screens are crowded. Companies may shorten their long names into initials, but customers often prefer to use the shorter, more intuitive word. When initials offer no spoken advantage, the shortcut fails, and the brand risks losing recognition rather than gaining it. Expectations shape perception, so the label influences what people think they are getting before they try it. This is why naming decisions support the overall mind position and should align with the chosen rung and promise. List 3 candidate names and test each one for clarity, memorability, and benefit meaning in a single breath. Reject any name that requires explanation, as the explanation will likely be lost in the noise you face. Extending a brand's line feels logical because a familiar name is expected to carry trust into every new product. This logic stems from inside-out thinking, where managers assume buyers will automatically connect the dots. A strong brand acts as a substitute for a generic term, which is why people request it by name. When a single name spans multiple categories, focus can blur, and the mind loses the simple shortcut. A shopper sees dial on soap and dial on deodorant, but the second use weakens the first meaning. Another shopper sees buyer used beyond aspirin, and the old certainty about what buyer means starts fading. From the prospect's view, extension teaches that the name is just a label, not a clear category leader. This breaks the core rule of positioning, as the goal should be a sharp slot, not a broad blur. Before introducing a new item, decide whether it needs a new name to protect the original position. When a house name must be used, keep the promise consistent and avoid creating multiple meanings for one word. The real challenge is not securing shelf space, but establishing a clear place in someone's mind. In an overloaded world, the brand that becomes the default answer to a simple question emerges victorious. This begins with outside-in thinking, crafting an oversimplified message, and aligning it with existing perceptions. It continues with leveraging first-mover advantages, building ladder awareness, and positioning yourself against the leader when they own the top rung. When your position is clear, decisions about product, price, and promotion align, ensuring resources are not scattered. Consistency compounds as each repetition reinforces memory, while each reinvention forces the mind to reset. Start by defining the rung you want, the contrast you claim, and the name that conveys that meaning. Then review your work as a potential customer would, because perception is more important than internal explanations. Choose one path in your career or business and align your message with that direction. If you want to practice these strategies with real examples, subscribe and continue to sharpen your position each week.